football world, it's not just being a player.
Okay.
You can be a player, you can be a trainer, you can be a coach, you can become a football analyst, you can become a football scout.
So there are different things you can actually do.
Yeah,
You
so
must
many
not
things.
play on the field.
Yeah, you must not play on the field.
Welcome once more to this video. Today I'm here in Essen in North Rhine-Westphalia, the western part of Germany, and I'm with a very good friend of mine, Desmond. It's very interesting how we met, but I will talk about this later. So Desmond, how are you doing today?
Hi Mike, I'm fine. Hi guys.
So yeah, Desmond and I, we met at the train station. So I saw him at the train station, the way he was dressed, you know, as a professional footballer, and then I walked up to him and said, hey man, what's up? Desmond has a really nice story, which is something that we're going to talk about today. The idea essentially is how can you come to Europe as a professional footballer, or if you're someone who has interest in playing football at a professional level, what are the best ways for you to come? So Desmond has a story, and this is what we will try to find out from him. So Desmond, tell us about yourself.
Okay, thanks Mike again for this opportunity. It's always a pleasure to try to help out Africans, because once we leave our country, we're exposed to so many opportunities when we can recognize them, and when we can't, that's how we miss out on this opportunity. So I'll be happy to share you a little bit of the experience I've had since being here in Germany. I came to Germany in 2016, that was September 2016. I'm actually from Cameroon. While in Cameroon, I always had a dream to play football, because in all the tournaments I'd always performed well. It had always been a passion. So
you used to play in Cameroon.
Yeah, okay. And I after my BSc, my bachelor's degree in Cameroon, I underwent an 8 months training, professional training, to play football. Yeah, so it had always been a dream to come and play. Yeah.
When you were training for this 8 months, what was the plan for you? What were you thinking about?
My father made me understand that to play football sometimes necessitates education. That's why I couldn't begin at a very early age, because there was this fear that if you get injured while training, what will you do after? Exactly. So to complete my bachelor's degree, and thereafter I was made to understand that I had a long way to go with the football career, because I've been throughout studying, and it implied that there were certain bases which I didn't know. So
that's right.
I was made to understand that the 8 months training will nurture me, give me what is necessary for me to go out to play at the highest level.
Yeah, to build a profile, right?
Exactly.
Build a profile. Yeah. But I guess you would say it's important to have an education before going into football professionally.
Definitely. I am very risk adverse.
Okay.
It implies that I don't take chances, you know. So I always try to secure everything, even if it means me missing out on some things, you know.
Exactly.
The point is, football is risky. It's more like a business. And you never can tell, you know, and there are so many people who are into football.
That's right.
So sometimes you don't just want to get in fully into it. So as the adage is, you don't put all your eggs in the basket. So it was necessary for me, from my point of view, and from what I've experienced here, even the footballers, they go to school, unlike in Africa where we play strictly football,
and you don't study.
Yeah, and you don't study. So what happens when you get injured? What happens after your career? Will you be able to manage your assets, you know?
Yeah. So education is always important. It's whether you become successcaul or not, you still need that.
Definitely. Still on education, for instance. If you play football in Africa, I don't know. Yeah. Let me speak.
For Cameroon.
For myself.
Let's say Africa. But I think what applies to Cameroon would apply to many other African countries. Sure. Nigeria, Ghana,
I think so.
And so on.
Yeah. So if you play football in Africa, let me put it that way, the only means for you to travel abroad would be through football. If you're playing strictly football. That's right. And that would be if you are lucky, and then an agency picks you up, someone sees you playing, and they are willing to sponsor you. Because the competition is very huge. Imagine every almost, say, from the age of 5 years, every male child plays football.
100%.
So if you're to be admitted, if you have to be brought in from Africa, you have to be very special. Sometimes
really
it necessitates, some call it luck, but I would say it necessitates God's favor, you know. Just in Africa itself, there are so many into football,
Yeah.
and you have to stand out in order to have these opportunities to come
Exactly.
here. So you need an agent to come to Europe,
Yeah.
and agents are sometimes unwilling to give these opportunities because for them to take a player from Africa, the player has to be special. Most of the times, it's necessary for the player to have played in his national team. And the
Yeah.
point is, how many of us will be able to play in our
the
national team in
national
order to have these opportunities?
Okay.
So one of the best ways, the easiest ways of footballers coming here could be through education.
Okay.
In my case, for instance, after my BSc, I just had to apply in a university here, get an admission,
Okay.
and once you're in Europe, you have the opportunity to move over to these clubs. Though
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we'll come to it. But
Yeah.
then once you're in Europe, you're free to do whatever you
Because
want.
then
you
you're
know.
already in that place where you can, have direct contact with
Exactly.
the people, and you
Exactly.
can actually go to them directly.
And you'll be less exploited too, because when you're from Africa, it seems like you're like in a tight condition. You want it at all costs.
You're desperate.
You're desperate. That's what I was
Yeah,
looking for.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
desperate. But once you hear, I mean, there's
There are
that
many other
flexibility.
opportunities.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay. I mean, well, this is a good point in the sense that one can argue that would it, because when you come here and then you have other opportunities, you may not be so passionate about playing football anymore, because you come here, you see other opportunities, and then maybe football was not really your thing. Then you
Yeah.
discover what else is your thing. You end up not playing the football.
Let me just add something to it. The football world, it's very broad, it's wide, there are a lot of opportunities. It's not just being a player. You
Okay.
can be a player, you can be a trainer, you can be a coach, you can become a football analyst, you can become a football
So
scout.
there are different things you can actually do.
Yeah,
You
so
must
many
not
things.
play on the
Yeah, you
field.
must not play on the field.
That's
you know,
true,
that's
that's
just one
true.
part of it. And unlike Africa, football here is business. You know,
That's right.
and players are considered like assets. You know,
Yeah.
everyone that works in the football world is considered as an asset. It means that even if you come here and you don't succeed being a footballer, you could become a trainer. Like
That's
Jurgen
right, there
Klopp,
are
for
other things
instance.
that you can
Jurgen
do.
Klopp, he started as a footballer, but he didn't succeed with it, and now he's a trainer. He's one of the most successful trainers in England.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
the trainer of Liverpool, and there's
Okay.
equally Tuchel, who is the trainer of Chelsea. He was equally in Germany. He didn't succeed with football because of injuries, one or two things, and he went into training. You know.
Okay,
So there are
okay.
so many opportunities, but from Africa, I think these opportunities are kind of limited. It's
Yeah.
either you're a footballer or a trainer.
Or nothing else.
Yeah, or nothing else.